Magomed Ankalaev has spent years carving his path in the UFC's light heavyweight division, dismantling opponents with a style that blends patience, precision, and power. But now he faces the most dangerous challenge of his career, Pereira, a man with world-class striking, knockout power, and an aura that makes every opponent rethink their approach the moment they step inside the cage. For Ankalaev, this is more than just a title fight. It's a proving ground. A chance to show that his skill set, his discipline, and his relentless work ethic can overcome one of the most feared men in the sport. Pereira has already proven himself against some of the best, but he has yet to face a fighter like Ankalaev, a man who does not make mistakes, who does not fight with emotion, and who approaches every second of a fight like a chess master, moving pieces on a board. This fight is not just about two elite fighters stepping into the octagon. It's about two entirely different worlds colliding. Pereira, a former two-division glory kickboxing champion, carries a striking pedigree that is almost unmatched. He isn't just a power puncher, he's a technician, a sniper who finds angles that others don't even see. His left hook is the stuff of legend, sending elite fighters crumbling to the canvas before they even realize they've been hit. But he's more than that. He has the ability to manage distance, to lull opponents into a false sense of security before delivering fight-ending blows. And yet, Ankalaev does not fear this. He respects Pereira's skills, but he does not allow himself to be overwhelmed by the reputation. He understands what he's walking into. He knows exactly what threats Pereira poses, and he's preparing himself for every possible scenario. He's not the type of fighter who will rush forward recklessly, trying to test his chin against Pereira's power. He's smarter than that. Ankalaev is a master of control, a fighter who dictates the pace of a fight rather than letting it be dictated to him. Where others have crumbled under Pereira's pressure, Ankalaev will remain composed. He won't get baited into wild exchanges, and he won't give Pereira the openings he thrives on. That's what makes this fight so intriguing. Pereira is a predator, but Ankalaev is a strategist. This won't just be a battle of power, it will be a battle of patience. Who makes the first mistake? Who allows themselves to fall into the other's trap? One of Ankalaev's greatest strengths is his ability to remain unfazed. Many fighters step into the cage with Pereira and second-guess themselves. They hesitate, and that hesitation is deadly. But Ankalaev is not one to hesitate. He's cold, calculated, and methodical. He doesn't rely on instinct alone. He relies on strategy. His ability to adapt mid-fight, to make the necessary adjustments, is what makes him such a dangerous opponent. And then there's his discipline. Ankalaev is not a fighter who takes shortcuts. He doesn't rely on talent alone. Every aspect of his preparation is driven by purpose. His striking may not be as flashy as Pereira's, but it is fundamentally sound, powerful, and designed to wear opponents down. His defense is tight, his footwork is precise, and his timing is impeccable. This isn't a man who wastes energy with unnecessary movements. Every step he takes in that cage is calculated. Every feint, every angle, every counter, it all serves a purpose. But perhaps the most important factor in this fight is Ankalaev's ability to absorb pressure. Pereira has a habit of overwhelming opponents, forcing them into a defensive shell before landing the knockout blow. But Ankalaev is not a man who breaks under pressure. He has been tested before, he has faced adversity, and every time he has come out stronger. When the fight gets gritty, when it turns into a battle of will, Ankalaev thrives. This fight is not just about skill, it's about control. It's about who can impose their will. And Ankalaev is a fighter who does not like to be controlled. His approach is not reckless aggression, but disciplined dominance. He knows how to slow a fight down when necessary, how to take away an opponent's greatest weapons, how to frustrate and break them mentally before breaking them physically. The key question in this fight is simple. Can Pereira find the shot that puts Ankalaev away before Ankalaev systematically shuts him down? If Pereira lands clean, the fight could end in an instant. But if Ankalaev controls the pace, forces Pereira into deep waters, and makes him uncomfortable, we could see a completely different outcome. What makes this matchup so compelling is that both men have something to prove. Pereira wants to cement himself as the undisputed best light heavyweight in the world. Ankalaev wants to prove that he has been that man all along. And when the cage door closes, it will be a battle of patience, power, and precision. One man will leave with his hand raised, and Magomed Ankalaev is doing everything in his power to ensure that it will be him. As fight night approaches, Ankalaev's camp is laser-focused on execution. Every sparring session, every drill, and every game plan revolves around one core principle: neutralizing Pereira's biggest weapons while exploiting his weaknesses. And while Pereira has looked nearly unstoppable, there are cracks in his game that Ankalaev can exploit. One of those cracks lies in Pereira's defensive grappling. Though he has made significant improvements since transitioning to MMA, he is still primarily a striker. Ankalaev, on the other hand, has a well-rounded skill set that includes wrestling, clinch work, and ground control. If he can close the distance and drag Pereira into grappling exchanges, he can systematically wear him down. But Ankalaev's success won't just come from wrestling, it will come from making Pereira hesitant. If he can establish his own striking early, Pereira may become more cautious in his attacks. Ankalaev's kicks will be key here. He has powerful low kicks and body kicks that can disrupt Pereira's rhythm, forcing him to react rather than dictate the exchanges. By mixing up his offense, Ankalaev can prevent Pereira from settling into the dangerous striking patterns that have led to so many highlight reel knockouts. Another key factor is Ankalaev's ability to manage range. While Pereira is a master of distance, Ankalaev is no stranger to controlling space. His ability to stay just outside of danger while keeping opponents within his striking range is a skill he has refined over years of competition. He does not need to take unnecessary risks. He needs to stay disciplined, pick his shots, and capitalize on the openings that inevitably arise when an opponent is looking for a knockout. Mental toughness will also play a crucial role. Pereira thrives on intimidation and psychological warfare. He stares down his opponents with an unwavering gaze, exuding the confidence of a man who knows he can end the fight at any moment. Many fighters have crumbled under that pressure before the first punch is even thrown, but Ankalaev is not easily shaken. He has fought under the brightest lights, faced dangerous opponents, and never once looked intimidated. If anything, he embraces the challenge. This is the kind of fight that defines legacies. Pereira has already built his name in both kickboxing and MMA, but Ankalaev has been waiting for his moment. He has been overlooked, underestimated, and forced to claw his way to the top. Now, he stands on the cusp of greatness, knowing that one flawless performance could cement his place in history. When the final bell rings, there will be no room for doubt. Either Pereira's power will reign supreme, or Ankalaev's calculated approach will prove to be the key to victory. And no matter the outcome, this fight will be remembered as one of the most intriguing stylistic clashes in UFC light heavyweight history.